1, go.
So everybody, today I'm gonna have a scary story, and if my daddy can get a better one, then well, he wins. But if he doesn't,
Hindi lang yung gamit, be.
he loses.
Wala nang palong ha.
Right, let's start again.
Let's start again.
That really didn't work, did it?
Nabili no nakakuwi.
So everybody, I'm gonna tell one scary story. If Daddy can get a better, scary story, then to the end of that. But don't forget, if you get creeped out, to find a parent to choose another video for you. This is going to be 1 hour for kind of scary things. So if it's going to be harder to not get scared. So if you thought kids that don't get scared of creepy stuff, like all the stuff. But the first more scary story is going to happen now. So here's the scary story. Starts off with, boy, get rid of that hand, Daddy. So it starts off with one day, someone was in their house having a sleep, but some scary monster was looking through the window. And you don't want to know who it is because you're not going to know yet. What window he was looking through was the window where the person was asleep. So, when the creature made a creaking noise and screeched the floor, scratched the wall, then the person woke up. They saw nobody. Second time, he woke up, but he definitely heard something. He went outside exploring, but when he went out, the rest of his family came out, but they didn't see him. Then in a few days later, the kid was there, but looked just like the mum. And you know what that means? The power of multiplying. He can multiply. Wait. Sorry about the lights. So it happens. The kid went into a young dashing man. And he can multiply towards the exact clothes he was wearing. So he stepped through outside in the night where there was a red moon, and that showed you have to stay indoors with all the doors and windows and every entrance you had locked. Or you might be gone. And make sure you have some reinforcing. I'll have a drink right now so I can tell more of it. Thank you. Welcome. So, when he went outside, he saw something, heard some footsteps. Crack, crack, crack. And you know what that means?
You should turn the light off again.
That means that the monster was soon there. The floor was cracking, but the dashing young man wasn't scared. He got his wooden sword out and he waited. But later, he heard something else. Like something walking very slowly. And there was 2 of them, so he only had one foot. They were big buff guys, not human buff guys, some monster buff guys. Do you want to know what the monster was called?
Mm.
The Clayorama. That's their fake name. That's what the big buff guy's name was. But like I said, not now. I'm going to tell you the name. And that will give you a clue the next bit. So, continue when the monster got to his neighbour's house, he went very sneaky to see what was happening. Then he saw the monster. The monster had sharp claws, a black skin, and the most terrifying bit, his glowing red eyes. He looked where the little boy was looking, but he got out of sight. Then later that night, the monster saw one window was open and the man in there was like, "You're not to get me." But the man didn't know because he wasn't very smart. He sounds like his face. He thought the monster couldn't even get him. Did you stop out? Oh yeah, louder would be more spooky. So, time to tell you my loud, spooky voice. When the man was like still doing his thing, then the monster kept doing loud steps. It sounded like an earthquake. Boom, boom, and in 5 steps he reached the house. Then his monsters came and they started breaking down the walls, went in and captured the man, and in 90 years they still haven't found him. He was nowhere to be found. Then later, the monster definitely heard something, so I went to the house where the little boy was, and for some reason he forgot to lock the little doorknob. He forgot to do all the windows. He thought he only had one window, but he had a secret window in his basement. So later the monster came up to the house, said a little boy ran all the way back to his house. It's too bright. Then later the monster grabbed a weapon, and I'll give you 10 seconds to guess what it is. Okay, 10 seconds on that, so I'll tell you. It was a giant black sword with red glowing bits on it. I didn't know what it was, but you won't know its real name without you knowing. Don't tell anyone. If they watch the show, it's okay, but if they don't watch it to the end. But anyways, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, the sword was called the Dark Sword. His sword was able to cut a roof off in one big slice. So the kid was scared. He ran back into the house, but the monster had him do a crack on a bit of the wood instead to the door in the house. Then later, the monsters definitely heard something, so it shot his sword at the house and it cut down a whole wall in one big chop. Then he saw the kid hiding under his bed. I actually wasn't scared because he had on this wooden sword still, but it was no match against the dark sword. Which sword do you think would be stronger, a wooden sword or a dark sword?
Dark sword.
Yeah. Dark sword's correct. But none of you knew that the kid actually, his parents had an iron sword. Iron. So which one do you think is stronger now, dark sword or iron sword?
Iron.
Correct. So his parents gave him the iron sword because he was strong enough to hold it. Then he started, then he stood in his room like he was proud and made clones. And you know the best thing about his clones is that they also got iron swords, just like their owner, but they're weaker. They're red swords. They're iron painted red. You can look up.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the look in your eyes if you look up.
I need to look at the audience. So, you see. Okay, Daddy, so, hope Daddy didn't cover up the camera. If he did,
10 years later.
oh, continuing, the monster stood in his lawn. Then, when he did an angry face, and he showed his face, he ripped off his mask. Then you saw a red face with red glowing eyes and black bits all around his eyes
Because it didn't sleep.
and sharp red teeth. So, when he stood on the lawn, he struck lightning on the ground, which scared the kid and he was scared. So they walked in front of him, then he ran to the back for all his clowns and let all the clowns do most of the work. So then, when the boxer came, it struck lightning like I said earlier, and it set up a whole ground of destructive items that can hurt your feet as long as you're wearing metal shoes, okay? Metal. Like iron, for example. Something like iron or overstrength. And lucky he had metal boots, gold, but at least gold's close enough. So he used gold, his gold shoes, put them on, put their lady shoes. He used his mum's gold shoes. As long as he can defeat the monster, that's all that matters. So, the monster did this. With a growling, his mouth was like this. He had an angry face showing a menacing face. Then he started throwing his sword around. His kid's clones just vanished after they got hit. The kid didn't know that, so he kept on going left, right. And his henchmen followed him as a good part. Then he sent them out to battle with the giants. They defeated the giants, but when he threw the sword, it finished them off. Then it was only the kid versus the monster. And the monster came, struck the ground, the lava came. I also noticed that surrounding. He struck the ground, lava came. That's a good rhyme. Anyway, he started and he grabbed axes. He grabbed a giant dark axe and darts on him, chucked them both. Then it did a lot. And he also grabbed a hammer and he used his robotic hand he bought. Only 10 quid. Because he has 1,000 quid, that's not a big deal. How much money it costs? He has a lot of quid there, right? Yeah, there's still more hundreds there, like 900, yeah. 90, that's not a big deal. But anyway, he did it. He shot them both. Then when the kid jumped, some lava touched him. But guess what? The lava didn't kill him. Instead, the lava took him to a different area. Different area was the same as what he did when he stepped on the land. Then he had to get out. He ran past the babies of all the monsters till we got to the exit, but he had to finish off the boss. The boss was only halfway to be defeated. He had a pretty good chance. The monster grabbed his jetpack and his bazooka for some reason. No one told me he had a bazooka, but he did. He had a bazooka and keep firing at the little boy. They dodged all of them and he threw his sword. Then he chucked the sword away. But and he chucked it back at him again. He got angry. He chucked it back so he couldn't collect it. He didn't know that his sword actually came back. So he kept chucking it backwards, but keeps hitting him again until we figured out it comes back. So we made sure there was a wall in front of it so it could get stuck at the wall. Daddy, get it away from me. So then the final attack, the kid chipped his iron sword and summoned 20 of his clones and 9 more, which you know what that makes, 29. But also the sword, so it makes 30 weapons against one monster. But finally, the sword came back and he did the final, he almost did it. But then the monster said a little story, then escaped. The kid couldn't beat the monster phase, he can escape. He ran to the exit and he exited. And then he escaped. Ending. But not very, but you know, not every story has a happy ending. His mum and dad got angry. They got grounded. But you know what saved him? One of the monsters, because they attacked the house again and it broke all the walls, so he could escape with his mum and dad. And then he just finished off the boss. Happy ending. The end. Daddy, you tell me your scary story.
Once upon a time, there were, well, yeah, there was a frog, and the frog was sitting there shivering. It was really cold. And this cow came along. Yeah, and this cow came along, and he looked at the frog, and he'd take a great big poo on the frog. So now the frog was covered in a big pile of poo. The frog thought, oh, that was horrible. He's trying to kill me. And along came the fox. And the fox saw the frog. He thought, oh, frog covered in poo. He picked the frog up. He shook him off really nice, like, cleaned him up. Then, in one swallow, the frog was gone. And the moral of this horror story is, sometimes people who seem to be trying to hurt you are trying to help you. And sometimes people that seem to be trying to help you are actually trying to hurt you. The end.
Tell you why for about Daddy's story wasn't that scary. Anyway, but it wasn't scary like I wanted. No. Who was hilarious? But also, this is why I call spooky. Anyways, continuing. I liked it, but I wasn't scary that much, so I take his essay 7. Okay, I'll show you why. I give it a 7, just because he wasn't as spooky as well. Yeah, I had a monster. This was only animals. And what would you say he was scared? Monster or animal? I said a monster. Because you was crazy. That's how I'm acting. What? Time to make this a worthwhile check. With truth and death. Time to tell you the true story. But I didn't know about it. Tell you about it. Yeah, like spooky, don't I? So time to tell the true story of the little boy and the monster. Time to tell you what actually happened. The kid escaped, but the monster actually had phase 2 of his plan. Because did you know that actually was alive? Yes. he was alive and spooky. Because you know why it was spooky, don't you? Because look how I is. Would it creepy? I know I don't, but I'm just asking if I look my face looks. It's her head. That's why it's going to be for adults and kids. If you can't do it, then just ignore that video. But anyway, you're going to have to face your destiny to ensure it. But anyway, tell me a story. Monsters life. Like I said. Yeah. So, it happened like this. The monster was actually alive, turned the house into his new base, because the human went into his base and took it over. Some of his henchmen's head were cut off. But our dad anyways was walking dead. Just like, let me show you something. I need to get back a bit. I try to get in the green light unless no what? I'll show you what I mean. Spooky. I mean by spooky. Spooky. So I'll get in here. Okay. I'll just sit down here to tell you the true original. So, time to tell you the truth. Background's and help now. It's just time to tell you the story. So, this is the monster. The monster was very alive and very good. And now it's no longer alive and no longer that good. So, this is a monster's great star with his outfit. So, boom, at the beginning of his suit. Got a brand new suit to strike fear into his enemy's heart. So, wait, can you leave some lights? So you can creepiest monster of the night. That's why night's spooky. So, I'll tell you more about this terror beast. Let's tell you more of this beast. You see me? Don't. And now, time to tell the rest of the story.
Another scary story.
So, he started hunting the kid. He crushed him. The kid was alive. Completely alive. Magical. So, that's my story. My story's more scary. Don't interrupt my videos.
Don't interrupt my video.
So, sorry about that. I'm on holiday right now, so yeah, this is one of the holiday times. You might see my holiday video, that's such a holiday, then it might come up.
Well, it's like 15 minutes before the video.
So, came the little boy barehanded. The little boy only had a tiny little wooden, what should I say, plastic knife. Easy to beat him, but it's beautifully designed, right? Anyway, continue. Good haircut. Anyway. Oi! Stop interrupting my video.
Sorry.
Not live.
You need to pause it.
I'm not. But you just did it while I was filming. Sorry.
That's a long filming. You can just edit it and cut the ones you...
So everyone, sorry about that little pause. It wasn't very long actually, because you didn't get to see the pause. The screen then just paused. No. What? I was having a drink because Mango wanted me. If you know to spell, if your name starts with anything, then you can make sure to like and subscribe. If you don't, then I have to make a story to you might get
You want
Katong biyahe mo, wala galing
headphone?
ba?
Edit ka kay sa Juan Dubai. Hindi ka na maglakaw pas-pas.
changing the green lights. If you didn't notice them,
Limang tayo sa
sorry.
bugnaw, pero naray hangin gamay mo.
I hope you noticed
Kung ano mo kaigang ba?
that spookiness.
Ganahan ka? May isa pa dito.
So, time to tell you the secret.
Oh gosh, kaigang.
This terrifying big chubby beast. Actually,
What day is it today? Monday?
but the kid actually survived. I
Monday
did.
already.